Wow. Thank you again, Chief. Chief Justice Rabner, the justices and judges who are with us virtually and who have already reached out to me, honored guests, colleagues, Monsignor Hart, friends, and of course, my family, a lot of whom are here. I'm humbled and honored to serve as the 123rd President of the New Jersey State Bar Association. Thank you to all of you, for the confidence you've placed in me to lead this terrific organization as we continue to face unprecedented challenges and times. As I stand here tonight reflecting on what the year ahead will bring for our world, our nation, and our profession, I'm prepared to make a singular promise to you. In the days ahead, no one, and I mean this, no one, will work harder than me, my executive committee, our board of trustees, our terrific leadership team at the Bar Association, led by Angela Scheck, and our dedicated and committed staff who together make up this wonderful organization. On that, I give you my word. So I hope you can indulge me. I'm going to go a little off track, as I'm known to do. And I will not go too far off track, but I have to tell you that I really am truly blessed and lucky. And I realize that. When I think back about the events in my life that led me to this wonderful opportunity, there's no other way to put it. I was a painfully shy kid that worked at Roma Pizza in Boonton, and then I worked at my family's place in Rockaway, Anthony's. I have to tell you, that kid would have never seen this coming, not in a million years. But I will say this, working at those places with the people I did helped me overcome my shyness. And as you know, I've overcome it, folks. But it also taught me the value of hard work and dedication. Then, I mean, you want to add to the luck. I'm lucky enough to get an interview at the Lum firm with Skip McMahon. And the reason I get the interview is because he sees that I worked in a family business. And in his mind, somebody who works in a family business is probably a hustler. Then he sees I worked for Jeff Kadish back at Morgan Malhewish when it existed. And he thought Jeff Kadish was a terrific attorney. So he gives me an interview. Luck, pure luck. Because the day before I'd received a letter that said, thanks, but we're moving on to somebody else. But Skip gave me that opportunity, interviewed me, and then another lucky thing happened. He walked into Wayne Positan's office and he said, I just interviewed a kid. You'd be crazy. I'm going to hire him and you'd be crazy not to put him in your department. And Wayne said, okay, because he trusted Skip. And then I was lucky enough to work with Wayne Positan and Steve Kalabik, and they really taught me how important being dedicated to your craft was, but also how important the Bar Association was. Another lucky gift that I received. And I had a wonderful, wonderful run at the Lum firm. What a great experience that I had there. And I learned from at the foot of masters. It was terrific. And then to all of you within the State Bar, the Essex County Bar Association, the Labor and Employment Law Section, who supported me and assisted me along the way, I could not have done this without you either. I mean, there's too many to mention. You all know who you are. You all know how important you were to me, not only being committed to my craft and improving my craft, but to understanding how important this organization was, how important our profession was, and how important it was to be committed to it. I want to thank my family, especially my brothers, Anthony and Robert, who are here. They continue to be incredible supporters of everything I do. They always have been. There were no bigger influences in my life, which shouldn't surprise you, than my parents. I could never repay everything they did for me. Both taught me that family first is the rule. My dad, who's here, and you'll meet him, hardest worker I've ever seen. and never let anything phase him, it's like an incredible talent to have. And my mom, who left us too young, they both taught me the value of education, but at the same time to be humble, kind, welcoming, and a great friend. And I've really tried to do that and emulate everything they've taught me. To my family in Italy and London, I wish you guys were here. To my family that's here today, thank you all for sharing in this special night as well. And of course, my greatest supporter, advocate, confidant, my wife, Gabriella, who always pushed me to reach for the stars, but to enjoy things at the same time. She also gave me the greatest gift of all, my two sons, Christopher and Michael. They bring me the greatest joy every day while continuing to test us at every turn. And folks, all of you with kids know exactly what I'm talking about. That said, I'm incredibly proud of them. They've both grown up to become incredible young men. To my law firm family, none of this happens without you. You're all here. I thank you all. Nancy, we've had some run, 30 plus years. Wow. Steve, folks, I already made one of the most important selections you could make. You picked the MC. You can see I did a great job. There is no greater law partner or friend that you could ever ask for than Steve Riccardi. He supported me in all these endeavors. Never once saying you shouldn't do this or you're too committed. Never saying you're overextended. Complete and unwavering support. And I have to tell you, folks, you don't do things like this without partners and friends like Steve Riccardi. It's a team effort. Everything we've done together in the law has been a team effort. I thank him, Steve. Terrific. Really appreciate it. And so it begins. But before I speak about what you and I can expect in the year ahead, I have to take a moment to recognize our outgoing president, Kim Yonta. I am filled with gratitude for Kim's leadership in the past year, and all of you should be as well. I had a ringside seat, folks, a ringside seat to what she faced and how she handled it. For many years, and by the way, that video, that's like a trick I think the Bar Association pulls on folks because they don't show you the video ahead of time, and it's incredible. But that last group of boys in that picture in the video, I've coached them since they were 6 and 7 years old in soccer, and I'm still coaching them today. They're a wonderful group. So they've heard all the things that I say. They've heard all the little tricks I have to kind of encourage them or push them a little harder. And one of the things I used to say to encourage them is I used to say, you are the right person at the right time. Well, I have to tell you something, folks. She was the right person at the right time. During her year, she never complained, and she could have. She never wavered in the face of challenges that we were facing. She and the entire executive committee worked tirelessly on behalf of the entire legal community. But she demonstrated what it means to be a leader. No one wanted this, no one. But she pivoted immediately and led our association in remarkable fashion. Kim and I had a lot of conversations. You spend a lot of time with this executive committee. They become your closest confidants. You discuss all the issues we're facing. There's something to be said about this run-up where you learn what you're about to face and you learn what to expect. So Kim and I have had a lot of conversations in the last 5 years. One thing we talked about many times was the relevance of the Bar Association. Well, if there was any doubt before this last year, that has been put to rest. This association is relevant and it will remain relevant. And a big part of that was reflected over this past year. Thank you, Kim. So, look, the State Bar Association has been an extraordinary leader this year. You'll hear that said countless times. But if you heard Kim's remarks from yesterday when she kicked off this annual meeting and again tonight and in the video, we've covered a lot of ground. We really have. We've addressed many, many significant issues and initiatives, but our work's not over, not by any stretch. And we have to continue to work on those issues we are all facing. Chief among our goals to address right now is to focus our energies on the issue of judicial vacancies. Our courts are currently facing a record number of judicial vacancies. That means too few judges at a critically vital chapter in our history. It is truly becoming a crisis if it's not one already. The need is real right now. I say that as someone who's involved in court matters every day. I speak to judges and lawyers every day. The court's at its limits. It's at its limits in terms of what can be handled by the current complement of judges. Consider that, and the fact that under some people's estimation, we're about to have a deluge of landlord-tenant cases coming, some estimating it to be 100,000 new cases by the time the moratorium lifts, probably over the summer. And there are thousands of people languishing in jail, waiting for their day in court to resolve criminal charges. And to make the situation more dire, it will become imperative to reassign existing judges to address those cases, which will absolutely affect the way justice is meted out in every single aspect of the other parts of the court system. Let me be clear about one thing. The existing bench is working too hard. That alone is not enough. We cannot ask them to work any harder. That's not the answer. Our courts are regarded as the finest in the nation. It's a strong, independent, co-equal branch of government. It cannot be allowed to enter this upcoming rollout and face the impending situation without sufficient resources. It will not be just the judges who lose, folks. These vacancies directly affect every New Jersey lawyer and our citizens who rely on the courts to resolve their disputes and to address significant issues that affect their everyday lives. A bench working at full strength is the only solution. And this Bar Association will not stop until the Senate and the governor make that a reality. You know, after this past year, I know that we'll be focusing on rolling out of the lockdown and getting back to full speed. Hard work, unity, and the strength of this Bar Association members are what helped the profession persevere over the past year. And as we emerge from this once in a century public health crisis, those qualities are what is going to bring us back and bring us an improved, more resilient profession. Know this. The New Jersey State Bar Association's mission in the year ahead will be to help all of you build back, not just where we were, but better than where we were. And the State Bar will be there every step. We've learned a lot, and we're going to apply it, and we're going to make it better. Our pandemic task force and sections and committees are still hard at work examining the fallout over the pandemic and how it affects lawyers and their clients. With the number of people being vaccinated on the rise and a semblance of normalcy returning, it would be easy to kind of let our thoughts turn to other things. But we're not prepared to do that. We are clear-eyed about the challenges that remain ahead. And we're going to lean in. We're going to lean in harder to help our members get back to work and determine how to adapt to the changes wrought by this pandemic. We're also continuing to develop resources to help the public navigate the many legal issues that have come out of the pandemic. Included among them is a guide that our Bar Association will provide as a clearinghouse of information for individuals seeking legal assistance. We're also discussing ways to address this overwhelming landlord-tenant backlog that we see coming. We're going to provide resources available that include free legal answers, our legal resource tool for individuals who have legal questions relating to the pandemic, and our military legal assistance program, and Legal Edge, a program that will be able to match those in need of legal assistance with attorneys willing to provide assistance at reduced fees. I hope you all had a chance to watch Dr. Sanjay Gupta and the chat that he and I had yesterday. It was really important that we picked him as our keynote speaker, because another issue that this pandemic has laid bare is the fragile grasp our profession has on our well-being. A few years ago, the American Bar Association and the Hazelton Betty Ford Foundation released a study. It put cold, hard statistics into the struggles our colleagues were having with depression, with problematic drinking, and even suicidal thoughts. Too many of us have heard these stories. We've known friends or we've experienced these challenges ourselves. And this past year has only exacerbated feelings of stress, burnout, and uncertainty. And I mean that across the board, top to bottom. We are today at a crossroads. And I'm here to say that the State Bar will take an active role in helping the legal community come to terms with this challenge and set out a better path ahead. Wellness must be something we focus on. Research has proven that when our workplaces foster and support well-being, we are better able to make choices that allow us to thrive and serve our clients. And supportive workplaces are not just more productive, but also able to attract and retain attorneys and other employees. You saw my friend and brother, Danny Hughes, on that screen. Feel free to chat with him later. He works at what has been voted by Fortune magazine for I don't know how many years in a row, one of the best places to work in the United States, probably in the world. And ask him if being supportive and having a productive workplace is good for business or not. He'll tell you it is, and we need to strive to help our members get to that space. In the year ahead, we're going to seek to address the stigma associated with asking for assistance. We'll emphasize that well-being is an essential part of being a competent attorney. And we will expand our educational outreach on these important issues, all in the name of changing the tone and improving the culture of the profession around every aspect of an attorney's health. Folks, one thing I know to be true, and it's been reaffirmed over and over again during these months in conversations with lawmakers, with judges, with lawyers, and bar leaders around the country, and that is that the New Jersey State Bar Association has gone to great lengths to help its members navigate a successful path ahead and has ascended to new heights. We've been leaders. We've gone to work for our clients, for our colleagues, for our courts, and for the residents of this great state of New Jersey. We were able to achieve these goals because we worked and will continue to work together. Because together we are greater than any single one of us. Today, possibly more than ever before, the organized bar is strong and it's relevant. It is a resource and voice for every lawyer. The New Jersey State Bar Association has been and will continue to be here for all of you. None of what we are looking to do will be easy to achieve. It will take resources, time, and effort, but we're prepared to do that for you and to support this great profession. You know, I have a poster. If you were to come over to my house and walk down my basement, I have a poster framed of quotes by the great Vince Lombardi, one of the legendary football coaches of all time. And he said, "The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we've applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand." Well, tonight I promise you this. The New Jersey State Bar Association is dedicated to serving you and determined to apply our very best to the task at hand. Thank you to all of you who have reached out already and offered to help, and those who have already agreed to help. It's truly appreciated. We will get through this next phase together. Stay safe and be well. And thank you all for the faith you've shown in me, my executive committee, and our team at the Bar Association. We will not let you down. Thank you all for this honor.